Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Worm Show on Thorn Jewels TV. It's been about 2 weeks since I last recorded a video about my box of life, and the worms are doing very, very well, I must say. I've decided to shoot this video outside. It is a lovely day at the end of August, and I have been doing all sorts of stuff on my balcony, getting ready for fall. Although I'm not going to show that, because if I do, I will make myself available to geolocation, and I'm not exactly sure if I care to do that. Anyhow, enough jibber jabber from me. I'm going to open this lovely box. In fact, actually, as I open it, I can feel that so much has happened in the time that I have not filmed. There's a lot going on. As you can see, the worm castings are reaching the top of the box, which is pretty amazing to me. A lot is going on, and a lot of castings. This box is increasingly full of worm castings. They are dropping a lot of poop. The last time I filmed, I had fed in this area here. A week ago I fed in this area. So this week I'm supposed to feed here. In fact, today is Tuesday, so I'm actually 2 days behind feeding schedule. I've had such a busy few days, but the worms seem to be very happy and they continue to be feeding. So I thought that they would be okay with a little bit of a delayed meal. As you can see, there's been a lot of activity. Things have really changed. And this box is full of worms. Every time I open the box, there are worms hanging around, and every time I dig a little bit, I see worms everywhere. So this box seems to be very, very happy. Still not sure what these eggs are along the edge here. I'd like to think they are worm eggs, but I don't know. Anyhow, as I go through this and dig a little bit, I can see that there's still bedding. So there's still some, forgive me, the camera, I'm not always very good at filming this as I do it. But it seems to be that there's still some paper bedding remaining in here. So the worms seem to be still eating and carrying on from where I fed them previously. There's a little bit of worm loving going on over here. I really hate to disturb them, but kind of have to. I'm sure they'll forgive me. Now, I fed this section let's see, 2 weeks ago, and I can see that there still seems to be some food remaining there, so they're not getting quite through the, wow, ooh, hello. Right, okay, so I want to just move things around just a little bit. I think this is good for like kind of aerating everything and moving things around. I'm sure there may be people who are watching this video who know better than I, and are just screaming at me. So if you have suggestions, please leave them in the comments. I'd really appreciate that. Right, okay, so that's this side, as we make a bit of a mess. Now, I'm very curious. I'm going to take this whole thing off for now, I think. Let's see if I can do it without making a total mess. Oop. Well, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. And I'm very curious as to what's going to happen when I lift this up, because this is where I think a lot of action has been going on in the last few. We got a lot of action going on here. These are very, very happy worms, I'd like to think. Right, so this is the area where I was thinking about feeding today. Although as I go through this, I see that there's so much activity, and I really do feel a little bit bad about disturbing all these happy wormies. I suspect, after having a really close look at this box, that I'm going to be soon ready to put the next layer on top and allow the worms to start to migrate up to the next level. Because now I'm trying to think like, oh look, where am I going to put the food for this week? It looks like they still have a fair bit of food. I can smell a little bit of it, and the texture as I work through this sort of suggests to me that, yeah, there's still quite a bit of food here. There's still a fair amount of food in this area. There's no doubt about it. I can smell it. Doesn't smell as nice, frankly, as usual. I mean, there's a sweet decay smell to it. And I've been really enjoying the kind of hummusy, kind of forest floor kind of aroma, and that's definitely not it. Okay, so I think I should still feed these guys. So I am going to make some space here. And I think it's just going to change the dynamic of how I move forward. I'm going to have to think about this and figure out what the next steps are in terms of this amazing little box full of life. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the food for this week all along the bottom here. I feel really bad because I am really moving these guys around, and I am also, of course, a total amateur. I'm just learning. I've never done this before, so anyone who, as I said, is watching this with a sense of consternation, please, please, please share that with me in the comments, because I would love to know what I'm doing wrong. I like constructive criticism. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do, because I have whole container full of my special pureed worm food. So I want to figure out a way that I can add that in. See if I can do that one-handed. Well, see if I can set this up so I can do it with. Alright, so so this is a little on the cold side, which I feel bad about, because I would like to think I should have given time for this food to warm up. I'm just kind of taking little chunks of it and just tossing it down into the bedding. Oh, and onto the ground. This particular blend is full of mango and coffee grounds and desiccated coconut. I'm making more mess that I have to clean up after. Yeah, desiccated coconut, I should say. I had like a packet and a half of coconut, shredded coconut in my cupboard that I didn't realize had gone out of date. So I'm not going to eat it, but I know that these guys will be happy to munch on it. So I'm just going to sort of cover my work already a little bit, and then I'll just put the last of this in. The recommendation is always about like, oh, feed a quadrant, and the next week feed another quadrant. But man, if I'm not good at breaking rules and following my own path, I am very good at that. And I suspect that things will work out, because it seems like this is a very happy community of worms. So I'd like to see if I can cover this. Let's see. I'm not sure if I can cover. I have to. I think I'm supposed to cover the food that I've put down. Oh, I'm going to move this over a bit. I haven't disturbed these wormy folks too much. Hopefully not too much. And there we go. Oh. You like put that clump of worms. There we go. I wonder as well, I suspect that one of the things I could do is put down more bedding on top. I bet you I could probably do that. There we go, see if I can hold this in my knees again. Apologies for the terrible camera work. Oh, come on. Here we go. Yeah, so I'm not sure. I suspect that... There we go. Yeah, I suspect this is going to work out. I suspect and I hope that this is all going to work out. Very curious to see. There's so many eggs, so there's definitely a lot going on. I could add more bedding, but I think perhaps what I might do is add another layer. I know that this is probably premature, maybe that's premature. I'm not going to add it anyway now. Not going to add it now. And then maybe perhaps it is premature, but it's nice to think about. It just shows you how excited I am. Let's see if I clean up. Doing some terrible filming here because I'm trying to clean up after myself, but doing that one-handed is a fool's errand. Right. Okay, well, now that I've got these worms more or less squared away, I will give this whole thing a spritz. It's already pretty moist. I'm very pleased with that, but let's make it rain a bit to add in a bit more moisture. And then we'll see if we can get this plastic covering back on without making too much more of a mess. I feel like I've already made a significant mess. And I don't want to lose any worms. There's always some worms actually kind of traveling around in these little funny spaces. I can often see them as if they're using it as a highway to move around. It's very cute actually, to be honest. Very cute indeed. Right, okay. Yeah, that just about does it. Thank you for joining me on this feeding day, and I will keep you updated. I think maybe next will come the second story, and I'm very excited about that. Right. See you in the next one. Peace.